Okay, it is 3 o'clock. Welcome back, everybody, to day 4 of the Power Up Challenge. Let me just check that I'm recording. Yes, I am. Yesterday, I managed to not record this session, and then I had to re-record the whole thing last night because we didn't have the session recorded. So, yay for technical challenges. Wow, over the last few days, we have focused on identifying our financial goals. We have pinpointed our most profitable services, and we've looked inside our war chest to see what treasures we could potentially find. And today we are going to dive into one of the most powerful tools for consistent revenue growth, and that is marketing directly to your patient database. And now, if you're worried about marketing feels salesy, don't worry. Today we will cover how you do this ethically, helping your patients and keeping them engaged with your practice, because the last thing we want to do is drive our precious patients away. So let's get cracking. So you know me already. I have been with you on the journey for the last 4 days. I'm a business coach and consultant, and working specifically with small businesses and healthcare practices. And my lovely Pumla is an OT. She has a special passion for ergonomics, but she's also realized that she loves building healthcare business women as well. So that we've put together our combined resources. One of the things we did this year was we started the Leaders Library, and we started a community for kind of general business people, and we started a community for healthcare business people. And we are trying to build a community that is supportive of the things that business people want to do. And obviously looking forward to taking that further in the next few months next year. And so, yeah, this is the end of our live sessions. It's been such a journey. Pumla and I have read all these books, and we've taken these books and we've put them together into some of the content that we've presented over the last 4 days, into a course called Grow Your Healthcare Practice, which we've run twice this year as an in-person course at the Gordon Institute of Business Science. And after one of these courses, after all of these courses, actually, Pum has taken all of the learnings and she's applied them in her business. And so we know that they work for healthcare businesses. And so today we've been on a journey. We've had a look at the various different things. And today we're going to talk about creating, getting off the ground, building a marketing engine. So let's quickly recap on day 3. I was wondering if anybody managed to have a look at their assets. Did anyone find anything useful? Did anyone create their first piece of content? Anyone do something that surprised them?
Well, it didn't really surprise me, but so I went back to, because what I typically do is I video an exercise doing the kids and then send it to that parent. So I realized
Yes.
all of my content is very personal, so I can't
Mm.
really use that unless there's some way of locking out the kid's face on a video. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that is going to be problematic. You might have to do an over-the-shoulder shot. So when you video children, you're not videoing their faces. You're catching them
That's a
sort of
good
over their
idea.
shoulder.
Yeah, or else I
Yeah.
must make some of my own, just me or somebody. Unfortunately, my son's gone to Zambia, somebody doing it. Anyway, but then what I did do is I got a recording from a previous meeting I'd attended and said to read the transcript, I must download, what is it now? Read. So
Okay.
I spent quite a bit of time doing that. Is that a recommended one?
So
Or
I
not
use
really?
Otter, which is web-based. You don't have to download anything. The link to the Otter, I'll post it. I
Because I
think it's
wanted
in the video
to
on Zoom, but I'll post it onto the
okay, thanks.
community.
I wanted to access all sorts of my information. But anyway, I edited that. And then this morning, when I was in WhatsApp, I found Imagine. You know, you go attach the
Uh-huh.
Imagine. I've never tried that. And so I was trying, it says type in what you want to imagine. So I typed in some things like kids sit ups, but it didn't, nothing really came up. The only thing that rang true was a picture of somebody writing, and then you can animate and gives you this tiny little animation. So, but that's just fun thing to do.
Jane, I think
But
this is the beginning of your AI exploration.
yeah,
Sounds
thanks.
like.
It's I've always shied away from it, but thanks very much for that idea.
Tasvi, you came off mute for a moment. Did you want to add something?
I did. Sure. I think I had to leave yesterday and then I caught up on your video. And I have like, I never ever thought of all the stuff I have as valuable.
Assets.
And I've done webinars, I've done parent education, I've done courses. So I'm so excited to try it because I only started using ChatGPT like a month ago. And I was so skeptical to use it because I was like, this is so wrong, all being quite high and mighty. But I loved the way you showed how to do it because now I was like, wow, okay, that's how I'm supposed to do it. So that was a huge learning curve for me. I didn't get a chance to do any of it because I only got to watching the video earlier today, but I have a vault, which is a nice way to look at it. And I'm always trying to think of new content ideas. And I don't know, like, I think I have to get over that in my mindset. Like, it doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be something completely new. It just needs to be repeated because everybody's not watching your things all the time. No. So that was a big aha moment for me. And I'm very excited for that. So I'll give it a shot.
I'm so glad that that's been valuable. Yeah, you're 100% right to call it a vault because it is absolute treasure. Okay, so I want to tell you a story about two different healthcare providers that I have worked with. The lady on the left is a very well-known dietitian, Claire Jolson-Stradum. At some point in time, she was the chairperson of ASDA. And she runs a course. So she is an expert in polycystic ovarian syndrome. And she has actually built a course called PCOS Boss that she sells to people who have PCOS and are looking for ways to get it under control. When I say she is absolutely an expert in her field, there is no doubt about it. And the reason I know this is because I worked with dietitian Claire when I was trying to fall pregnant and struggling, and she definitely, and this is now 11 years ago. So I think she only released her PCOS course maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But Claire and her practice never ever contact me. I never ever hear from them. I follow her on Instagram because she's amazing. And I've always followed her on Instagram. But if you go and follow her on Instagram, and I highly recommend that you do, you will see the types of content that you can do. As her own content, her personal content, in regards to what she is filming in relation to PCOS, and she does stuff with her practice. So she's got about 6 or 7 dietitians that work in a practice with her. And she does stuff in the practice, and they do cute little videos, like they all sit together and they have lunch, and they're like, okay, what do dietitians have for lunch? And then they show their little lunch bowls, and this is my protein, and this is my carb, and it's very cute. But if you are interested in nutrition, I mean, that's fantastic because you see what sort of 7 dietitians are eating for lunch. So there is an approach in terms of she is creating content for the masses, but she's missing a trick in that she is not reaching out personally to people who are her patients. Okay. The second picture that you've got there is my physiotherapist. She's amazing. She's really, really good with people who have running injuries. But she's also very, very good with helping you find the right exercise that's going to keep that injury under control, or stop you from getting injured. And I always tell her she's got the worst business model because on your first visit, she basically shows you how to heal yourself through exercise, and then you don't have to go back again. Whereas other physios will treat and treat and treat sometimes. This lady is like, I don't want to see you again, so here's how you fix yourself. And it's not really what she says, but that's, as the patient, I'm like, I mean, she is fantastic. Now, she is leveraging her patient database because every couple of weeks, I would say, I get an email from her and she is giving me information about running, about pain, about all sorts of things that that would interest me as one of her physiotherapy patients. And again, she's like, it's like she's keeping me away from her rooms. She's obviously so busy that she doesn't have time to see all of us. No, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, you've got two different approaches here. You've got somebody who's like reaching out to the world, and then you've got somebody who is zoning in on their patient database. And so when I need a physio, it's very easy for me to go to my email and say to, oh, yeah, Jean. Or if a friend of mine needs a physio, I'm like, oh, here's Jean. I'm going to forward you the last email she sent me. Oh, Jean sent me an email about pain management. Let me forward you that email. It's really good. That person gets to see how really good Jean is. They get to connect with her. So the thing is, what you've got to do is you've got to put yourself in your patient's mindset. Now, sometimes your patient is not your customer. So what do I mean by that? If you are treating children, the child does not make the choice to come to your practice, nor does the child pay the bill. The parent or the guardian is the customer. So when I say think like your customer, that's why I've said sometimes your customer is not always your patient. Because if you're dealing with children, you have to think like the primary caregiver. So if the primary caregiver for your practice demographic is usually the mom, you've got to think like a mom, okay? If your patients are in a certain type of age group, you're treating people who sort of 45 plus because they've got the type of injury or the type of condition that you treat, you've got to think about that kind of person. If you are working with geriatrics and they're often not making decisions for themselves anymore, you've got to think like they're next of kin or whoever would be power of attorney over them. So think like your target customer and think, where are they? Are they on email? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Are they on TikTok? Okay, where are my potential customers, the people who are making the buying decision? If you run a family practice, if you're a GP and you run a family practice, you'll often find that the wife or the girlfriend makes the appointment for the husband or the boyfriend to go to the doctor. Okay, so think about who your target market is and start to market to them in the way that they're going to feel the most comfortable engaging with you. So think about all the platforms that are available to you. And then what you already have, you don't have to build up an Instagram following from nothing because you already have a patient database. And it is, I cannot remember the exact stat, and it's something I should definitely research, but it's way easier to keep an existing patient or an existing client in the business world than it is to get a new one. You spend a lot less effort keeping customers so long as you keep them interested and you keep on engaging with them. So you've already put in the hard work of acquiring that customer acquisition is what we call it in the business world. And so now you have got to make sure that you keep that patient, that you retain that patient, and that they remember you when it's time to do their next whatever it is that you do. Tasmi?
My question is, sorry, on that note, I have just started a little bit with email marketing. It's just, I've only started it now, but I've been seeing patients for a while. But do I need to get their consent to send them these like newsletter emails?
I'm going to show you how to do that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you do and you don't. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So you've got a patient database, and that patient database could be sitting in a patient management system like HeroMed, like GoodX, like HealthBridge, like there's a bazillion of them, so I'm not going to name all of them. I have opinions, by the way, so if you want them, we can talk offline. So you have got this patient data sitting somewhere. Now, I would advise you, do not send the email from your patient management system. And the reason for that is if somebody does unsubscribe, they're going to unsubscribe to all of your billing stuff and the important stuff that you don't want them to unsubscribe from. So you need to create a second email address for your practice that is around health tips and things like that, okay? And you need to take your patient database out of your patient management system. So you need to download it and you need to put it into an email management system like MailChimp, ConvertKit, ClickFunnels, one of these, and some of them you can use up to like 500 subscribers for free, and then after that it gets you pay a little bit of money. But you need, and then you've got to every month remember, okay, I've got 5 new patients, go put them into my patient database. Okay, you've got to kind of keep it. You can actually get Zapier to do that. That's an automation tool, but you can use automations to do that. So you are taking your patient database, you are downloading, all you need is the first name and the email address into a CSV file, and you upload that into your chosen tool. I will link a couple of these tools in the recording so that you've got that information. Okay, then the fear that healthcare practitioners have around marketing is usually got to do with there are so many rules that the HPCSA have published in booklet 1 and booklet 2. I'm actually too scared to do this. And so we need to talk about how you market ethically. Now, we go into a long thing and we dive deeply into what you can and what you can't do in our How to Grow Your Healthcare Practice course. But just from a high level overview, you can definitely tell patients about new services, events that you're hosting, upgrades to your practice, and give them valuable resources that you think that they will find useful based on their healthcare condition, their health condition. You cannot offer discounts. You can't tout, or what is it? Canvas or tout. You can't canvas or tout. So discounts, specials, and aggressively pushing patients to book an appointment before the price goes up, that would be seen as canvassing and touting. You can't do that. You must always give patients the option to opt out of a communication. I'm going to show you in a second. And you leverage tools like ConvertKit or ClickFunnels or MailChimp that have the opt-out button built in so that you don't have to manage who subscribed and who unsubscribed. Okay? It's built into the tool for you. And then you make sure that whatever you are giving to your patients is valuable, because you don't want them to unsubscribe. You want to keep them. Now,
just on that note, ConvertKit is changing its name to Kit. So if you, if you look it up.
Now, if you get an unsubscribe, very important, don't take it personally. Okay, some people have this thing called inbox zero. I know people like this. They're business people, and all they want in their inbox is business. And so unless it's an invoice I need to pay or an appointment I need to keep, I don't want this noise and I'm unsubscribing. Don't take it personally. It's okay. It just is what it is. And that type of person is probably only 5% of the world. All right, so what you're going to do is I have put into, or actually Christelle is going to put into the recording, when we post the recording, this template email that I've written for you. And if you have never sent an email out to your database, or you've only sent a couple, this is the first email that you send, which basically says, hello, I'm going to be reaching out more regularly. If you don't want to hear from me, please unsubscribe. That is all you need to do. That's consent. Okay. If on your patient consent forms, you have a tick box for can I send you marketing details, you're making your life hard. Take it off if you can. You want to send them marketing details and you want them to opt out of those marketing things. Okay. So So my recommendation is ConvertKit, and I will record a ConvertKit tutorial in the next few days, just so that those of you wanting to get started on ConvertKit have got a bit of a steer. Because if you're brand new to this, the last thing you want to do is click all over the show to try and work it out. But the important thing is, if you want success, you have to start. So you have to start. You know what you want to sell in the next 12 weeks. You know what types of injuries you want to address, what types of conditions you want to address. So the idea is to now reach out to your patients and start talking about those types of conditions, and start talking about the transitions that they're going through, start talking about the end of the year. And if you are going to run a wellness day, talk about your wellness day. Say, I'm running a wellness day. This is where it is. We're going to have a biokineticist and a dietitian and a nurse and a blah, blah, and these are all the things. It's just, you're not inviting it, you're just telling them it's happened. And here is how you contact my receptionist to book. But you have to start, because success is waiting for you down the road of progress. And if you just keep on doing what you still do, what you were doing last week Friday, you're not going to achieve that result that you set out to achieve. So what we do now, your actions from today is to watch the ConvertKit tutorial and send out your first email on the template that I have supplied you. And then to export your patient database. It's probably step one, is to export your patient database, because you're going to have to upload that into ConvertKit or Kit and get started. But I think one of the most important mindset shifts to make that Pumla and I see as the biggest stumbling block for our course participants is that oftentimes private practice owners who are clinicians as well don't treat their private practice as a business. And the biggest realization that I hope you kind of walked away from this, this week is, heck, I'm running a business here. I have revenues. I have sales are your revenues. I have costs. I make a profit. I have a product. I can innovate. I have assets. This is all business talk. You are all running businesses. But it's a lot. I mean, there's marketing, there's operations, there's finances. There's a lot to juggle, especially if your heart and your energy are focused on patient care. But here's the thing. You are a business owner. You are not just a practice owner, you are a business owner. And so when we make that shift, we realize that we need some help in terms of how we run our businesses. And that is why Pumla and I put together Grow Your Healthcare Practice, so that people can get to grips with the business of patient care. And it's designed especially for healthcare practitioners. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's designed especially for family practitioners and allied health practitioners. At this point in our Pumla are much more interested in working with OTs and physios and GPs and dietitians, because you guys can't charge what specialists charge, and so you're running your business on these lean margins, and we want to help you run your business better. So our next course is starting online. For the first time, it's online, and we're doing it online because we want to reach the OT in Kuruman and the physiotherapist in Hermanus and the dietitian who lives in Henley on Klip. That's why we're doing it online. And it's going to run the same time as we've been running these, at 3 o'clock on a Monday. And the training is going to last 60 minutes. And then after that, we're going to have group coaching sessions. And that's going to help you. Those group coaching sessions are going to help you actually build the action plan that implements each of the strategies for the module. So imagine now you have a healthcare business. You no longer feel overwhelmed by financial management. Instead, you have a simple cash flow system. We're going to teach you such a simple system that ensures that you get paid, the tax man gets paid, your bills are covered, and there's profit. I mean, imagine. You will not struggle with how to attract your ideal patients, because we're going to teach you much more about marketing, as well as how to sell without sounding salesy, how to do those referrals. And obviously, we want everybody to walk away feeling confident in their role, not just as a clinician, but as the CEO of your practice, giving you the clarity and the direction and the tools that you need to run a thriving and ethical healthcare business. So what is it? It's the Grow Your Healthcare Practice course will give you 6-step plan to professionalize your practice. And that is the content that we will give you. So there will be a coaching element where we will have those weekly calls and work with you on your business plan. There will be a community and a network of others who are in the same cohort as you. And you will walk away with a strategy that you've worked on that is customized to your business, that you can then start working into your business over the next 6 to 12 months to make a significant change in your business. The topics that we cover are leadership, so knowing what needs to get done every single day to keep everybody that works for you, if you have people in your business, on the same page so that they move forward towards achieving your business goals, not their own goals. We're going to talk about money, and we're going to set up a system that navigates your cash flow and creates profits for you, which is part of the reason we go into business, let's be honest. We're going to talk about marketing. So we're going to build out a marketing funnel. So we've created our little marketing engine, and now we need to put leads into that marketing engine, not just our patients. So we're going to talk about how do we attract our ideal patients and then increase referrals with ethical marketing. And then we are going to teach you the magical sales formula. So how to sell your services in a way that feels genuine and helps other people. We are going to look at your products. We're going to look at the assets in the vault, and we're going to see, can we create bundles? Can we create courses? Can we create offers? What else can we do with you that's going to give you, or that's going to detach selling your time for money and creating more of an offering that is a little bit less attached to your time or even anyone else's time. And then we're going to look at operations. So how do we manage people? How do we streamline business operations for profitability? And lastly, and very importantly, we will be looking at the HPCSA guidelines. And because we have this component, which is actually a gold thread throughout the course, it's not one module of ethics. We actually work it in throughout every module. Because of this, we've got 13 ethics points that have been awarded. And so you will walk away with your 13 ethics points, which is you sorted for the next 2 years. The investment for this course is 6,997 Rand if you pay once off. But we have put together a installment payment plan. The course is going to take kind of almost, well, it's going to take just over 2 months. So the installment plan will last will be 3 installments over 3 months. And as I said, 13 CPD ethics points. And this is really an opportunity for you to invest in your business, for you to invest in yourself. Say, I am the business owner, not just the clinician, and I want this kind of success in my business. And I want a strategy. I can't just keep on doing the same old, same old. I need to do something differently. And this gives you the strategy to do something differently. So as I said, we've run this a couple of times. So we had a OT who came. She runs a large practice in Richards Bay and has started a satellite practice in Pretoria. And she came into our last course, and she came in like 20 minutes early. She was totally frazzled. And she was like, oh, I just have to make payments. And I think, we started our course on the 30th, hey? So it was the last day of the month. And so she came in, she did her payments, and she looked so stressed. So at the end of that, I was like, are you okay? She's like, oh, I just have to pay VAT. And yeah, the VAT man comes knocking. For some of us, it's every 6 months. I think for her, it's every 2 months. Pamela, are you talking to us? Because you muted, friend.
I'm saying it's always a man. It's always a VAT man, the HPCSA man. It's always a man, tax man.
Anyways, I mean, and this lady's been operating practice for a number of years. I would say at least 5. And she came and we showed her this financial management model, and it blew her mind, and she was so excited about it. So we will teach you an amazing model to manage your finances. This guy, Kartik, so he's a GP based in Joburg, and he was working himself silly. And he came and he joined us, and within the first day, he'd already made some critical operations about how he was going to manage himself and his time and his practice in order to avoid burnout. Then we had a lady who runs a practice in Secunda. She flew up for the course, or she drove up for the course and stayed at the hotel where we ran the course. And she told us that she just had felt like she had to be the clinician in her practice. And now she felt like she had the release to be the CEO of her practice. She runs a large practice working with the minds. And she felt like she had to still be in the trenches as the OT. And this gave her the permission slip she needed to be the boss. And then we had a lovely lady, Nobulali, who joined us for the last one. She was from Ladysmith. She also traveled up for the course, and she was wanting to start something new. She was working in a hospital and wanted to get out and start her own thing. And she said that she now felt like she had the courage to launch. So it's not only for people who have established practices or have just started, it's for people who are looking to start as well and are not feeling confident around starting. So what you're really getting from this course is a network of like-minded private practice owners who will then understand the journey that you're on and be able to support you going forward with those practical, proven strategies that we have tested and that others have tested. It's not just theory. You are going to walk away with a clear, actionable plan that is tailored to your practice, ready to implement. Pamela and I have both been where you are, and we are here to guide you through every step of the way. We will show you how to do this. We will work on your business plan with you, and we will focus on real-world solutions that actually work in your business, in the demographic you work in the area that you work in the seasons that you work in. And then a little bonus is a 20% discount on all Leaders Library read-alongs for life. So regardless, you'll be able to join all of those going forward if you feel like you need a boost in any of those areas. So yeah, just to recap again, the investments, 6,997, including VAT once off, or 3 installments of 2,799. And registrations are now open. We will close them on the 27th. And I'm going to send you an email in the next 5 to 10 minutes that has the registration links in it so that you can click on the link and sign up. You can choose which payment plan works for you, but we think you've got 1 week to jump on board and say yes to this transformation of your business. And we can't wait to transform your business with you. So thank you for being part of the Profit Power Up Challenge. I think all of you have already made strides in taking changes and making changes and doing something differently. And I think Grow Your Healthcare Practice course is the next step to take everything you've learned to the next level for 2025. Are there any questions, comments, concerns, frustrations? Pamela, I've talked a lot. Do you want to say anything?
Well, maybe just to say that for me, like the money framework that we learned in the Leaders Library and then have implemented has helped me to make a profit in my practice since we started in March. So every 3/4, I'm able to draw a profit that I then use to pay down my debt. So my plan with the profit model is to, clear it. So if I follow the model, I should be able to clear it in 6 months. And then going forwards, all of that profit is going to be sitting in my bank account. And I never thought as a healthcare practitioner that I would have profit. But if I carry on the trajectory that I've started, then in between 6 and 9 months, I will start earning a profit. I think the other thing is the innovation from the product aspect of the course that we do. And with that, I'm looking at creating a product, which for me is going to be an ergonomics training module, and this is going to be an evergreen model. So the idea of it is having it running and creating an income for me that is not me using an hour of my time to get 690 Rand from the medical aid or 340 Rand from the medical aid for each product. And I think that part of the investment is understanding that it is a journey, but that with the principles that you learn, if you partner with the action aspect of it, there is movement in terms of what you can then achieve. And like, if I look at it from an investment point of view, if I look at my profit margins, within 1 month, I was able to kind of pay back the investment that I also put in from a business point of view, just by having the structures in place. Yeah, I mean, I think I've got lots of other examples, but yeah, that's really the crux of it.
And I think when we started that framework, you actually didn't have any hope of paying down that debt anytime soon. So this has actually been a major game changer for you.
Yeah, yes. I think Lee has a question.
Lee?
Hi, not so much a question as a comment. I mean, the invitation to join these sessions came at really short notice, and I had to really juggle to be able to join them. I didn't manage to join yesterday's live, but I watched the recording this morning.
Okay, good.
And it's been just so perfectly timed for me. I've got a lot of measures in my practice to track the metrics, to track the finances. And what's happened this year is just completely unusual in relation to my 20 plus years of being a private practitioner. And I think it's multifaceted. It's family issues, bereavement, but also up until the middle of last year, I was part-time a postdoc fellow researching in the road safety field. And I've realized that really is my passion area. So I've come back to my practice, and it's a practice that had to shrink to accommodate the research role. And I've come back to it at a time where the whole field, I mostly work in medico-legal, the whole field has altered. The macro realities are really, really different. And what has happened is the metrics have been so depressing that I've received management reports from my accountant every month, and I've literally just gone deeper into depression with everyone I've seen.
Okay.
I haven't drawn earnings for myself properly for a very
Sure.
long time now, a year. And this has been very rejuvenating. And Anne, your spreadsheets have been very, very confronting for me, because I realized what I haven't built in is earnings. I look at expenses and I don't think of my own earnings as an expense. So that's been a paradigm shift that has been needed probably for a long time. And then Pumla, just like you, I'm looking for products, creating products, evergreen products. I have a passion for disability equity in the workplace. I have a sort of chain of related products in mind, but something you said early on, and I'm not sure which one of you said it, that perfection is the
Enemy of progress.
Yeah. I've been waiting for certainty around the Employment Equity Amendment Act and when it will be promulgated and when it will be real. And because of that, I've really paralyzed myself in terms of my offerings, because I've thought, well, it's premature, and who am I to kind of present this stuff? And it's just really made me realize, and the thought of using something like ChatGPT to harvest assets and resources that I already have and quickly packaging stuff is so appealing. So your run through of how you use it, Anne, was amazing. I haven't had a chance to try yet, but I will. Having been quite judgmental about other people using it, I'm suddenly seeing the value, and that it's a tool to be harnessed, and to be harnessed ethically, because I'm all about ethics. So yeah, I feel very refreshed, very rejuvenated. I can't join your next course because the next 2 months for me just involve some overseas travel, some executor duties, trying to help my practice survive. But potentially next year, I would love to join your course.
We will definitely be running it again next year, Lee, and we will definitely have in person as well as online. Pamela and I love the in person. We love the energy, but yeah, we'd love to see in either of those. So we will keep you on the mailing list, and when the timing is good, you will be there. I know that people arrive at the right time for them for the right reasons. Tasvi?
Lee, I just wanted to say, well, there's a few things. I had a couple of questions and something to say to Lee. I've just done a course on how to build a sales funnel, and just because I was quiet in my practice and I needed to kind of think out the box. And having a group of people who are not therapists or healthcare practitioners just to motivate was so amazing. And so I want to say to you that we need to just get out of that imposter syndrome. That was also for me a hard thing to do, to just say, well, am I the right person? Well, if you're not the right person, then who is the right person? They probably isn't. So go ahead and do it. That's my word of encouragement to you. Just give it a shot. And then my two questions were, in this online training, there will obviously be recordings of the things.
Yes.
And then online versus, did you say the in-person was just 2 full days straight?
Correct. It's a Friday and a Saturday usually.
And the price point is the same?
No, the price point's more because we have to pay for venue and catering.
Venue. Okay, that's what so I'm just doing things to make a decision, because like you say, the things do happen at the right time. I joined this by chance, so maybe this is a universe giving me a sign.
And I think also, if you have got some spare cycles in your business because you're still busy ramping up, good time is now, because you'll have the time to put the work in and build out your strategies that you can hit the ground running in 2025.
And already these strategies are starting to happen. I just haven't thought of all the things that you said, like the money framework or the ethics. I'm just like, I think, Pumla, maybe you follow American therapists. I follow American therapists. They are out there all the time. They just put all their stuff out there. And that was kind of what led me to do some things, because us as South Africans don't put ourselves out there as much as they do. And that's what inspired, like, said to me, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work, but I've learned so much in the process. And so I'm definitely in that season of, well, you can do this and this and this, but I still have that thing in the back of my mind is, are you the right person for this job? Like, who gives you the right? But I'm getting over that. I'm getting over that. Now I've got to get over the money stuff.
Get over it. It's definitely possible. Where did you find us, Tasvi? And Lee, I was also wondering, where did you find?
I think somebody told me at the beginning of the year. I've been working in government for a long time, over 20 years, and have just moved into my private practice fully this year. And then somebody, I think, attended your course, a GP friend, earlier this year. Okay. And she sent it to me, but at that time I had zero disposable kind of income. I think I went back, it was in March or so.
It was
somewhere around then. It was still the summer. I remember it being warm because we were sitting at school and talking about it.
Yeah, it was March. It was Megan. Yes, Megan Timms.
It wasn't Megan Timms, but I do know Megan Timms. It was actually Karen van der Merwe.
Karen, yes, she did. Yes. She was the doctor who told me last year in October, and you need to turn this into a course.
So she was the one who told me, because our daughters go to school together. And then I was like, oh, Karen, this sounds amazing, but I couldn't afford it back then. And so I think I've been receiving some of your emails, and then I must have registered for this somewhere along the line.
You must have.
You must have opted in somewhere.
Somewhere. Click things. Anyway, so that's how I found you. And then Monday, I missed it completely. And then the recording came and I was like, oh, I forgot about this thing. Then I was like, no, make time, shift things around. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for this. And that's why I think definitely it's the universe sending me a sign.
Great. Are there any other questions? Annika, do you want to ask any questions, make any comments, what you found useful in the last 4 days?
Well, I've already just tried out the ChatGPT yesterday as well after the live. And I did one Instagram post using your sort of way and yeah, I felt so proud of
Well
myself.
done. Well done.
Just,
Can't give you a high
stepping in there,
five.
doing
Yeah.
something.
Well
Yeah,
done.
but thank you. It's been so helpful. And yeah, the Excel spreadsheets as well. I'm the same as I think Lee that was saying, I never brought the owner's compensation into the picture, when I think about profit. And so, yeah, that was also eye-opening for me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, owner's compensation. When we do the financial framework, owner's compensation is like a non-negotiable. It happens. You take your profit first, then you take your you take your tax out, then you take your owner's compensation. You got to build yourself a salary, because otherwise you will end up resenting your business. So and like Lee was saying, just sort of that depression just deepens because you are pouring your heart and your soul into something that's giving you nothing back. And yeah, we can't wait to share that financial model with everybody in the course. Jane, you back? We're just wrapping up.
I'm back. My meeting ended early, so I thought I might as well join you for the last few minutes. But thank you so much. This has been so valuable. I'm so glad I signed up. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what the course is about. And yeah, really has been very valuable. Can I just ask, could you recommend anyone? I mean, I've been incredibly lazy, I must admit, because I work at a school, so I've got a access to a captive audience. They don't all come to me, obviously. Also go to other OTs, and I always, make sure to tell the teachers you've got to ethically give 3 names or 3 practices. But with Instagram, I feel like such a dinosaur. Would you be willing to share the person that you use, or how does one find people who help you with that? Because I think I need somebody to help me set all of that up.
Yes, so we do. I mean, Pamela and I have the same Instagram person. Not sure if I'd recommend them. We do, but we do a lot of our own Instagram reels. But this other lady who's on the call here, Christelle,
She can help.
She can help. So
Okay,
I
great,
will send you her. I'll send you her details, or you can actually
Thanks
just
very
connect with her in the Leaders Library. But yes, she can do social posting. Christelle does she takes everything that I do on TikTok, she takes it off TikTok, and then she puts it on YouTube, and she puts it on LinkedIn, and she puts it on, what else? You put it on Instagram. And I have given her my ChatGPT license, and so she clients on ChatGPT and she repurposes the content for YouTube and Instagram and blah, blah, blah. So because you can't put Instagram on content on LinkedIn, guys, you know this, right? So she does all of that hard work for me. And so I just have to do one thing. I just have to make a TikTok, which is the easiest thing to do. And then Christelle does everything else.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we have someone who's just joined.
I can't
Or did
see
they leave?
Somebody popped in and then they popped out. Yeah.
Yes, Papa G popped in and then popped out again.
Because Christelle's taking our. Okay, great. Christelle, have you got a random number generator there?
Sorry, no, I haven't got that yet.
Okay, cool. We will send out the announcement of the winner tomorrow morning. Otherwise, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful afternoon. Go write that first email to your people, and I will post that ConvertKit explainer video shortly. Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Bye-bye.